Price returns to form, Shea Weber returns from his injury and starts blasting rockets and lighting sockets. Duren adds 20 points to his offensive totals from last year. Domi hits 40 apples. Lek proves that he can snipe Genos in the NHL. Between him and Tatar, they make up for the loss of Max Pacioretty's goals. Mete and Juleson play some very solid 5-on-5 hockey and help us survive the Shea Weber injury to start the season. But this season could end up being a development year. Now, I still firmly believe that the Montreal Canadiens, as of right now, are better than what they're being given credit for in the media and in the hockey community.
No playoffs this year, guys. Another year and no playoffs. It absolutely sucks. Especially because we were in a playoff spot all friggin' season for the most part, holding on to that wildcard spot for really the majority of this season outside of that last month or so. We even were in the top 3 in the Atlantic at points and had opportunities to pass the Leafs and couldn't quite do it. It's really unfortunate that this team doesn't get to have a chance at the postseason, especially after such a fun and entertaining season. But I gotta say, the change in attitude from this team was incredible. The buy-in by the players with the coaches was great. The individual performances and improvements by literally 2 handfuls of players was unbelievable. Such a fun and entertaining season to watch. And not only the improvements offensively, but defensively as well. Guys like Phillip Danault and Victor Mete taking huge strides. Shea Weber coming back and being an absolute stud. I didn't lose faith, and there was a small group of people that didn't lose faith, but still it is such a relief to see that Shea Weber is still one of the best defenders in the game. So that's another huge positive on the season. Once he came back, he was incredible for the majority of this season, ended up in the top 10 in goal scoring despite playing for defensemen, despite playing quite a few less games than all the other guys around him. And Carey Price as well, another guy. I didn't lose faith, and a good chunk of people did not lose faith, but it's still a relief to know he is easily one of the best goaltenders in the world still to this day, especially these last few weeks. The performances he's been putting on, trying to get this team in to the postseason, absolutely insane. Yeah, but man, it still really sucks to miss. But really too, because I don't think this team would have been an easy out for any team that's made the postseason, even Tampa Bay. Even if that meant just taking them to 6 or 7 games, I think we would have really made it difficult on anyone we would have matched up against in the playoffs. I think we really would have made it difficult for any team. So that's really disappointing that we didn't get a chance to show what the Habs are made of in the postseason. It really, really sucks. But really, at the end of the day, what cost us, I think, is a power play. And losses to Atlantic Division rivals early in the season. I look at a couple of losses against the Buffalo Sabres early that really would have made the difference for us squeaking in. That loss late in the season against the Leafs where we were up 3-0 against them, blew the lead. They come back and win. Those are 2 easy points right there that could have squeaked us in. So our record against the Atlantic Division definitely has to improve next season. But at the end of the day, I think it really comes down to the power play. 31st ranked in the entire league, but we are still sitting 2 points out of the playoffs. Just a 3 to 5% change positively in that power play percentage would have likely put us into the postseason. Now, that's a huge negative on the season, the power play being as bad as it is. But if you look at it in a positive light, this team was still able to put themselves into the position that they're in despite that bad power play. So it goes to show how strong the 5-on-5 play of this team is and how strong the defense is. I don't think we have a top-tier defense in the league, but it is certainly above average, especially when you have Shea Weber in there. So those are the 2 things I look at as reasons why we missed the playoffs. The power play and the important losses against Atlantic Division rivals. But the thing is, we've proven to be capable of, when healthy, as a team that fights for a playoff spot. Nobody outside of myself and a small portion of people thought this team could contend for a playoff spot this year. But Montreal has proven that they are not a basement dweller, and they are a team that can fight for a playoff spot. And not only that, they have one of the youngest cores in the league. They're only going to get better. They did not overachieve this season. If you look in the past, Montreal's only had poor seasons when they've been riddled with injuries. That's a fact. It's a fact. When healthy, they're a team that contends for playoff spots and is a very hard team to play against. Not only that, like I said, they did not overachieve this season. That's absolute bogus. They played to what they're capable of. That's a good, very good sign. And some massive positives moving forward is those trades from the offseason for Marc Bergevin, about 10 months ago, are going to pay off for us for years. The clear trade wins. Alex Galchenyuk for Max Domi, an absolute steal. We trade away a 50-point winger in Alex Galchenyuk for a 70-point center. That's highway robbery, guys. Highway robbery. Not only that, the Max Pacioretty trade, he leaves. We get Nick Suzuki in the trade, who's supposed to be the centerpiece of the deal. But we also get Thomas Tatar, who will be part of our core for at least another 2 years. He's in the prime of his career. He had nearly 30 goals this year as well, and a career best season. That's another trade that's going to pay off for us for years to come. The Shea Weber for PK Subban trade is looking fantastic. Fantastic. Also the Armia deal, we basically got him for free. If we sign him in the offseason, this coming offseason, that's another deal that will pay off for us long into the future. Yeah, guys, it has been such a great season. And I'm seeing things online now coming up, and it's ridiculous. People saying that we should have just tanked this season. People are disappointed that we're now going to be drafted in the middle of the first round instead of in the top 5. People are saying we should have tanked. Let me be clear here. The Montreal Canadiens will never, ever be a team that tanks. The management, the coaches, the players, they do not have the mentality to purposefully go into the season to lose. And in hindsight, it would not have made sense to trade away the majority of our core just to improve on our draft pick for one season. It makes no sense. This Montreal Canadiens team already has 2 pillars in place. Carey Price, one of the best goaltenders in the world, and Shea Weber, one of the best defenders in the game. And they're going to be that way for at least a few more years. These aren't pieces you trade away just for an improvement on a draft pick for one season. Not only that, Montreal has incredible depth when you look on the roster. Thomas Tatar, Brendan Gallagher, Philip Deneau, Arturi Lehkonen. The list goes on and on of these goal scorers. Paul Byron, up and down the lineup, people who can score goals and contribute offensively. Montreal's got great depth. These aren't pieces you trade away to improve on your draft pick for one season. And you also don't want to risk promoting a losing culture, which is nearly impossible to get out of just to improve a draft pick for one season. It does not make sense. And the thing is, we have likely gotten our generational or close to generational player in Jesperi Kotkaniemi. It cannot be taken for granted what he did in his rookie season as the youngest player in the NHL. Not only offensively did he surpass Alexander Barkov's rookie season, despite being a year younger, but he looked incredibly comfortable all season long, defensively, in the role that he had. Not only that, he was willing to engage physically at the age that he is and the size that he is. He was willing to engage. I'm telling you right now, guys, this is a special, special talent. He's confident. He has the work ethic. He has the attitude, and he has the skill to become a very, very good top 6 center within the next 2 to 4 seasons and easily a bona fide number 1 center in the next 4 to 5 years. The guy is unreal, and the style of game that I compare him to, you may think I'm crazy, but I see a lot of Ryan Getzlaf in him. If he bulks up, he has the frame, he'll have the size, and he'll have the playmaking skill, the poise, and the vision with the puck to play a similar game to Ryan Getzlaf. Not only that, his defensive game is going to be very, very good. The Finns are known for that top quality defensive game. So let's not take for granted the strides that Jesperi Kotkaniemi had in his game. It has been overall and all around a stunning and solid development season for the Montreal Canadiens, which I did say prior to this season starting that this season could end up being that. I was confident that this team could fight for a playoff spot. They did that, but it was important that we kept our expectations in check because it could become a development season, which it has. Now, to criticize a little bit, I have to. At the end of the day, the players should be proud of the season that they put forth, but I guarantee you they will not be satisfied, and I guarantee you they are disappointed in the outcome and will be incredibly hungry next season to make the playoffs. This is a team with a culture of winning, a team that hates to lose, and I guarantee you they are pissed that they missed the postseason. Training camp next season is going to be even more competitive than it was last season, if you can believe that. And it is going to be another grind next year to make the playoffs. This team is going to be even more hungry than they were this season to make it next year. It is going to be an incredible season next year, and I'm confident they will fight for another playoff spot, and I'm confident they will get in. We've got the cap space available to make necessary adjustments. We definitely need some improvement in terms of puck movement on that left side. You want a little bit more offensive contribution from that left side of your defense. Hopefully, Victor Mete can have some strides offensively in his game, but the guy's defensive game is stunning. I haven't seen a guy that young look that comfortable defensively in the NHL, maybe ever. His defensive game is just the way he tracks pucks down, takes pucks away from players down low, gets in passing lanes, uses his speed and agility to not allow guys to get past him. It's incredible, but hopefully he takes some strides offensively. But even if he doesn't, we have the cap space available and the assets available to hopefully improve that left side D in terms of the offensive contributions. We also need to get a backup goalie that can get us about 8 to 10 wins next year. Anton Niemi was up and down this season. I appreciate what he brought to us, but we need some stability in net in our backup position, whether that's Charlie Lindgren or some other veteran player that can come in and shore up our goaltending. We got our 60 starts from Carey Price. That's an ideal number for him. We need another 20 or so for a backup goalie, and hopefully we can solidify that position as well. We have a ton of draft picks going in to the 2019 draft. We also have a small chance at getting a lotto pick in that top 3 now that we have missed the playoffs. So that is a positive on the season. And after that first round pick, 9 more picks after that for the Habs. Absolutely huge. Got a little bit away from the criticizing there. I was going to say the players really don't have anyone other to blame than themselves for missing the playoffs. And I think they definitely will blame themselves. Coaches and management as well. They need to be better. Everyone needs to be better to make the playoffs. And I'm sure this franchise is well aware of that and will do everything they can to get this team into the postseason next year. And let's not forget, guys, we had a 94-point season, potentially a 96-point season with the game tonight against the Leafs. We'll have to see how that goes. But we could potentially tie the record for most amount of points and missing the playoffs. Not only that, there are teams in the Western Conference with not nearly as good of records as us, and they are in the playoffs. It's kind of a joke, if you ask me. And the team that eliminated us from playoff contention, literally had to sell away every single one of their picks outside of one in the 2019 NHL draft, just so that they can sneak into the playoffs. In my opinion, that's an incredibly irresponsible way to manage a hockey team. To me, it sounds like a greedy owner who put the potential future of his franchise in the backseat just so that they could have one playoff appearance. And to be quite honest, Columbus is likely going to be facing the Tampa Bay Lightning. I cannot see Columbus getting past them. So once their playoff appearance is over with no Stanley Cup, they're going to be in a very bad spot moving into next season in terms of what they shipped out to get that playoff experience. You cannot say that about the Montreal Canadiens. We pushed for a playoff spot, and despite not getting there, we did so without trading away any future assets and actually banked some as well. So it's massive. We've got a ton of young guys coming into Laval next season to have full pro seasons. Josh Brook, Caden Primo, many more. Tzaika, the improvements, the season Jake Evans had in Laval was fantastic. Vedemu down there could make some strides. Cale Fleury had a very impressive season defensively down there in Laval, and Laval's primed to take a step forward next season as well, just like the Montreal Canadiens are. I'm telling you, training camp is going to be absolutely intense. So Ryan Poehling will make his NHL debut tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Charlie Lindgren is going to get the start in net after Carey Price had a heavy workload in that last portion of the season. Look forward to that, guys. I am going live tonight for the last game of the season against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I love this matchup moving forward. I think the Montreal Canadiens need to make a statement against them tonight and give them a little taste of what they're going to be dealing with in the future. Honestly, Montreal's trending upwards, and I think the Leafs may have plateaued and may even take a little step down here in the next few seasons. They've got a ton of cap trouble, holes all throughout the lineup, weaknesses. They're 2 years away from possibly losing Freddie Anderson. They're probably going to lose Jake Gardiner after this season. Then they're in the same position next year with Jake Muzzin possibly losing him for nothing. This is poor asset management, something you cannot say about the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Boston Bruins are continually going to be a struggle for us as long as Bergeron and Marchand can take them, Chara as well. They are a complete team, and as long as Marchand and Bergeron are putting up the numbers that they are, they're going to be a very hard team to deal with. Florida Panthers, if they can get a goaltender, maybe Bobrovsky in the offseason, they're another team that's going to be very difficult to deal with. Buffalo, if they can escape that losing culture that I mentioned earlier, it's so hard to escape. If they can do that, they are going to be a difficult team to deal with. Tampa is going nowhere as well. They're going to be at the top of the Atlantic as long as they remain healthy for quite a few years to come. But to be honest, guys, I see the Montreal Canadiens within the next 2 to 5 years or so becoming that upper echelon elite level team like the Tampa Bay Lightning that gets there and stays there for a long, long time. I don't think you can say the same about the Leafs or the Bruins or the Panthers or the Sabres. I really like what Montreal's management is doing, and I'm very trustworthy and faithful. They will put us on the right path once again next season to push for a playoff spot and give us some solid, entertaining hockey. That's about it, guys. Really sucks to have to wait another year to potentially see some Habs playoff hockey, but let's not forget how great of a season it was. It was a blast. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this channel. I cannot thank you guys enough. It has been an absolute blast being here with you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the channel this year. It's been so much fun. I am going to do an in-depth season review video, going in-depth in play styles, team stats, individual stats, breaking down players' games. Once the season is over, sometime while the playoffs are still going, I will put that out. It's going to be a bit of a project to put it all together, so bear with me, but keep an eye out for that. And of course, join me tonight for the live broadcast I'm doing for the Habs Leafs game. It is going to be a lot of fun. Now, quick little note, keep an eye out for that last video I'm going to do because I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to continue this channel after this season. I got a second child on the way that's due October 1st. Cannot wait. It's going to be a blast, but that means a lot of my time is going to go towards the family. I will definitely not shut down this channel completely, so stay subscribed, and of course hit the subscribe button if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, but just wanted to let you guys know I may not be able to continue it, but I will definitely do my best from here on out to give you guys some quality, objective, positive Habs content. Thanks again. You guys are the best. Let me know what you thought about this season down in the comments, what you think about this team moving forward. We have a ton to look forward to, guys, and hope to share some of it with you. Cheers, guys. Go Habs, go, baby. Woo!